right. Well, let's jump into MotoGP and talk about that because that was also happening this weekend and pretty crazy all around. I mean, let's talk about the qualifying sessions. I'll say Bagnaia was looking good in qualifying. Being in the top seven. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say I can't say I expected more, but it was a home track for him, so you thought it would have been a little bit better. But what you guys
he crashed out.
Yeah, until he crashed out. What do you guys think about that? And what Bezzecchi did, because it seems like Bezzecchi's the only guy that's gonna I don't want to say push Mark, but at least make Mark look back a little bit or look up. What are your thoughts, TJ?
Sorry, actually.
You're back. You're back. Not back. All right, we'll move.
I'm out.
All right, we'll move to Reese until you get it sorted out. I don't know if you had a chance to watch MotoGP while you were at COTA this past weekend, man. But what are your thoughts about qualifying and how those guys did?
No, I did watch it. I mean, getting up early and watching it, but I mean, it was nice. I mean, it was different. I mean, I think like you're right. I think Bezzecchi is the only one that's going to keep Mark, as you want to call it, honest, and keep him out there. I think he's the actual one. Him and maybe his brother, but I mean, it was good. It was a good qualifying race. Qualifying, it was a great sprint race. I was kind of sad to see Mark crash out, but actually, no matter how much I hated the guy at one point, I'm kind of rooting for him after that surgery, what he had, just take it all.
Yeah, I agree there. I won't say I'm rooting for him, but I respect what he's doing, and you see it. You can't deny the caliber rider he is and stuff like that. I'm not really mad at Mark. I'm mad at that Ducati signed him. That's all. Mark had nothing to do. I mean, obviously he got signed, but like Ducati, they didn't need to sign him to win another championship.
Why? Why didn't you need to sign him? You got to sign the best.
Right, there's a long list of reasons why.
Who's out there that's going to beat that man?
But the thing is, though, I mean, you think about it, right? If you know you're going to win a championship with the riders you already got, why spend more money?
Because you can make more money.
Right, I can make more money.
Yeah.
Well, that's that. We'll find out at the end of the year, see what sales are like, right?
I mean, sales is just one part of the equation. The win it on Sunday, buy it on Monday kind of philosophy doesn't always work.
Right.
But, how many times can a team sign somebody like a Michael Jordan to their team? The Wizards sucked when Michael Jordan went there, but they still have Michael Jordan. They still sold more tickets. They still sold more jerseys. They still sold more popcorn and vending everywhere they went. Like they could ask for more because they had a bigger package, a more talented package to display. Mm-hmm. So,
right.
Sometimes you got to look at it at that way. I can sign Jorge Martin. Even if he didn't get hurt, I could sign Jorge Martin, or I can sign a 7-time world champion that automatically comes with a ton of fans and a ton of haters, and the haters will pay to hate on him. Like I love the meme every time that Marquez goes and races in Italy. That can you imagine paying $300 as an Italian to go boo Marc Marquez? Like that's it. Thousands of people are paying $300 to boo Marc Marquez. Boo. And at the end of the day, Marc is like, yo, I still get paid. You guys are helping pay for me to be here to make you feel bad. So, and if you looked this past weekend, Ducati used Marc to launch the new RS models. They had the Deolale and they had the Multistrada. They did a whole marketing campaign. So again, you got this instant swag by having somebody like that. Why do people sign LeBron James even though he doesn't win championships and flops? Because he's LeBron James. He's gonna get people into your audience. He's gonna bring people to your stadium. At least with Marquez, you got a 7-time world champion that's proven that he can go out there and ride. Not Mr. Flopopolis that's gonna.
I hear that they're building a bike too. They're building them a replica
on the bench.
Yeah, I heard that too. But he qualified 4th. Bagnaia qualified 8th. Do you think that? I put this all to you guys. Hopefully you're all set with audio. TJ, do you think that what Bezzecchi and Martin did to get Bezzecchi on pole? Do you think rider teams should do that more often? You punch a hole in front of the faster rider so they can get the few tenths to get on it? Because I don't know if Bezzecchi would have got that if Martin didn't punch that hole on the straight.
I mean, I think help each other to try to get a better position. But dude, I don't know. It was I think it just Martin just happened to be there.
Oh no, they planned
But
it.
it definitely
They
helped
planned that.
Zeki get that pole position for sure. But I definitely do think that teams should help each other instead of like Mark used to do, chase behind a rider just to get himself a better position. So, but that fight is also good. It keeps everything competitive. But
Right.
it was pretty cool to see Bezecchi get up there and get the pole position.
I mean,
Nice. What
why
are your
not?
Good
thoughts?
for Martin.
What are your thoughts, Reese? You think you guys might do that in Jersey?
I don't know if we'll do it in Jersey, but I mean, why not? Why not have a rider punch a hole through it if you got, you can follow? And I mean, sometimes it's not even team orders. It's just the two guys will get out there and they'll get behind each other and they'll actually just do it. But hey, I'm gonna punch a hole for you. Come on, let's go. So it could be that. But I mean, why not? You still want to win the constructor title or something like that. But I mean, it can't right now because Gotti. But why not try to put a slowdown to Marquez's reign or get ready for the upcoming year? Why not?
And you're right, because Bezzecchi helped Martin get into Q2. What are your thoughts, Lewis, on that?
I mean, I tend to agree with Reese. I don't think it was necessarily team orders. Maybe the two riders spoke about it ahead of time. Hey, if we catch each other on the track, let's try to help each other, either tow me or punch a hole in the air for me or something like that. It's qualifying. It's not the race. So, but if you look at the time of the race, I think Bezzecchi would have still been on the front row regardless of whether or not Martin helped him. I think Martin just gave him a couple more tenths that got him right to the pole position. But Bezzecchi was still the fastest guy outside of Marc Marquez the whole weekend. And even Alex, he had his flash of brilliance. But again, that one lap speed, that doesn't mean you're going to be consistent over the length of the race. Who gridded up in third place as the third fastest guy? The guy who dropped like a fucking anchor once the race started, Mr. Yamaha. Why? Because you can't run your fastest lap of the race for 27 laps. That's physically impossible. You can stay within a certain range, like of a half a second, 31.3, 31.6, 31.2, 30. You can do that, but you can't run 30 flats for 27. Your tires won't make it. You won't make it. I mean, even at the end of this race, you saw Bezzecchi get off the bike. My man was like, yo, I'm done. I'm cooked. Like I gave it all. Like the dude looked like he was ready to pass out. Like his eyes were sunk in. He was so cooked.
So let me ask this: what's the deal with Fabio and the pearls?
I don't know, man. I can't. I don't know. Maybe they're his lucky pearls, like.
I was just like, what is he doing? But maybe, he's getting closer to God or something like that. Who knows? Because I think that's the first time I've seen a rider rock the pearl necklace. Like that. But let's talk about Marquez's crash. These guys, you talk about being able to do qualifying times one lap. Him and Bezzecchi were both doing close to qualifying times in the sprint race, in the 130s. When he passed Bez, I before he crashed, I felt like he was going to crash because like they were on the limit, and I didn't think he needed to push the limit, fighting for the championship, wanting to stay healthy to finish the next 5 rounds. I think we have left 5 or 6 rounds left, 5 rounds left. Do you think that was too much, pushing a little bit too much for Mark?
For me or TJ?
TJ, you with us?
Sorry. Can you go, Lewis? It's connection issues. Sorry. I don't know why I'm breaking up.
Yeah, man, you got some serious connection issues, man. Nah, just saying, talking about the crash with Marquez
Today's not too.
in the sprint race, and pushing close to qualifying times for a couple of laps. Him and Bezecchi. Do you think it was like a little bit much? He probably should have just chilled a little bit. We'll throw it over to Lewis, man.
I don't think. Again, man, anytime you put your helmet on, you want to be the best, man. Sprint race, practice, qualifying. I don't think Mark needed to do what he did as far as pass him and try to quickly push away.
Mm-hmm.
I think the pace that they were setting, they were going to separate themselves from the guy in third place regardless. I think they would definitely put some distance. I think Mark should have just let him do the donkey work. Let him be out front. Let him do all the hard pushing. I mean, let him be the one to win it or beat it. And if you get the opportunity, when you get the opportunity with a couple laps left, I don't think Mark has a lack of speed as the tire grip goes down. It seems he gets more speed. I mean, him and Bezecchi were trading fastest laps of the race on lap 25, 26, and 27.
I know. Pretty crazy, right?
That's crazy. That's like, so again, in the sprint race, which is half the distance, you're going to tell me that he's not going to have tire come lap 13? Come on.
You're thinking these guys are like, man, I could have pushed harder then because they had so much grip at the end?
Yeah. I mean, the sprint race, I would have, honestly, man, with the low fuel load, as early as they get the low fuel load in the sprint race, with tires that are still as fresh as they are, I mean, they could have probably set lap records, in lap 12, 13, and 14, 15, and 16 of the sprint race. So I think Mark just kind of, again, and he said it himself, it's a mental lapse. I got a little bit too overexcited. I started, thinking that something that I shouldn't have been thinking, and just that one little lapse of concentration, and that's it, I crashed. But he redeemed himself on Sunday where the points are even bigger. And he didn't make the same mistake. And if you've watched Mark throughout the years, that's kind of his MO. He crashes in practice to find the limit, and then he tries to avoid that same mistake during the race. And this time he just, it kind of bit him a little bit. He should have just waited, I think, a little bit more. But again, I've always told you, don't deny that half-second home track advantage. Like Bezecchi, when you are in front, and I was thinking about this, man, when your family shows up, when your friends are there, when everybody is there, when you see the colors of your flag flying all over the place, trust me, man, you find that extra half second. You find that extra little motivation to like go a little faster. And Bez this weekend did an amazing job just doing that. And I think, again, this goes back to Mark, wanting to maybe annoy some fans that love to cheer when he crashes. He got them back on Sunday. You guys booed me or cheered when I crashed yesterday. Well, cry your tears today, man. Listen to the Spanish anthem right now. Cool. Thank you. Paid $300 to come listen to the Spanish anthem.
No
Thank
doubt.
you, Italy.
he gave them a Messi at the end of the race on Sunday.
That's harsh.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Aprilia. Do you think? I mean, we talked about this early on when Bez won. Is it safe to say Martin is the number 2 rider now? I mean, I think it'd be hard to. But he has to win a bunch of races before the pendulum switch.
I mean, he's been the number 2 rider. He's been the number 2 rider. I don't think he ever was a number 1 rider, being honest. I mean, he's just a number 1 plate, not the number 1 rider. So, I mean, then when you left and you did all your antics and nonsense of BS, it was like, all right, we're going to, it's like, and Bez is there dealing with it, and you kind of left your teammate high and dry on like development or anything else like that. Yeah, I mean, it's safe to consider you're the number 2 guy. You're not the number 1 guy. We don't need you as the number 1.
What are your thoughts, Lewis?
I think he's the number 3 guy.
Damn. At least I gave him 2.
They might sign Oliveira as a test rider, so you might be right.
Did they say that? Well, at least if he's test riding, nobody can crash into him. So He'll
Well, he
finish
might be going to.
he'll finish the testing sessions at least.
He might be going to BMW too over in World Superbike.
Yeah, he might be going there. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean that's what he said. He says he wants to race, so it doesn't sound like he wants to be a test rider yet.
He could stay again. I think he'll do well in Superbike. I mean, nobody hits anybody there, so he should be fine. But on the team, definitely Martin is the second rider. You know, Bez has kind of taken this opportunity and really made the most of it. It was handed to him very early in the season because early in the season he knew he went into that team as the number 2 rider.
Right.
You know, hey, they signed the reigning world champion. He's literally going to have the number 1 plate on his bike. You know, I'm just going to have to put my head down, put in the works, and see what I can do to just carry my weight. And then, you know, Martin got hurt, and then the whole controversy, and even throughout all that, man, you know, Bez just put his head down and kept riding, rode through the problems. You know, finishing outside the top 10, doing everything he can do to get the bike to where it needs to be and just chipping away. And look at him now, man. You know, the dude is flying. I mean, he's really making the Aprilia look like it is a direct competitor to the Ducati. Like there's nothing really separating the 2 bikes right now, which is amazing.
And he lost his wings.
And he lost a wing. You know, he did it with a half a wing. So instability in the front end. But that might be a good thing. You know what? Cut that wing away. We went faster without it.
We don't need those wings no more. Shoot.
Yeah, on the heavy right-hand tracks, we cut the left wing off, and on the heavy left-hand tracks, we cut the right wing off, and we're good.
Yeah, that bike got too many wings. Just too many. TJ, you back with us? What are your thoughts of Aprilia and you know, number 2 rider Martin?
See, now where y'all going. Yeah, I think I'm back with the connection. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. Everything was just static. But to me, yeah, Bez is definitely looking like the number 1 rider right now. I mean, the way Martin ended this year and going to Aprilia, it just didn't start with the right foot. But he's gonna have to take lead from Bez. I mean, he has his front foot forward. Like I said, he's been underdog. I've been rooting for him as well this year. And he's been proving himself since the beginning, middle of the season, for that matter. So for him to just prove that he can still hang with Mark, I thought it was just excellent data for himself to have pace with Mark for about 15 laps. You know, just to keep pace, knowing that he has the confidence to get better than what he is at now. And even though he came in second. So I think it was a win overall for Bezzecchi for this weekend. And I think it was probably one of his best race weekends, if not probably the best, as far as himself getting data personally and the bike getting data and you know, him doing better than Martin right now. So
right.
But yeah, on the tire and all that stuff that fell off, I don't know what's going on. And I don't know if that was just a cool one side of the tire. It just didn't last, but it's an interesting part that they put on the bike.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just one too many wings for sure.